So I've got this powder coating oven and I'd like to make a couple of heat shields for it. It's got 3 elements in it, and as it heats up they kind of pull away and it gets close to the part. So I'm trying to resolve that. First step is Fusion 360. I'll go in there and make a rough sketch. This is a sped up version, but it shows roughly what I was building with it. A couple slots to let the heat through, but retain those elements. I ended up changing this just a little bit. This is pretty close to the final version. So now it's over at Mach 4 for the CNC plasma cutter. I've got the G-code loaded and it's sending it over to the machine to cut. This is probably the most fun part. It's the most rewarding part. You can see it cutting this third plate out. I'm using some old galvanized I had laying around. It doesn't have a lot of dross by doing it this way. Looking back, I probably should have programmed lead-ins so it looks a little cleaner when it's finished, but it does the job. To save some time, I'm using the hole punch instead of drilling holes. And then it's layout. So with the layout, I'm just laying this thing out so I can put it in my finger brake and get all the marks I need to make all the bends I need. This is the outside lip. As I flip it over, I do the profiles for the center here. Once it's all marked up and laid out, it's ready to go over to the finger brake. Finger brake, it gets in. I'm just replicating the exact same bend for all of them, essentially 60 degrees. It's not perfect, but as long as they're the same, it'll come out right each time. And you can see that here. I'm just going from my standard mark. I'm running up to 60. It's probably closer to 50 degrees, but it does the job. Once that's done, you can see the final part. It looks like a heat shield now. To keep this thing from warping and tucking in, I put this little plate here. This just holds the element back with just a small amount of surface area rather than resting on that whole plate. Alright, now it's install time. So I've just got zip screws here. The rest of the oven, when I built it, I used rivets. I may regret this. I'm wondering if the heat's going to make it work its way out, but I can always go back and put 3/16 rivets in it. Alright, we're all wrapped up. You got a little sneak shot of one of my hot rod wagons there, but those are the 3 elements. This is the final product here. It's ready to go, ready to see some parts, and ready to see some heat.